We let that one go maybe for a little too long, but it's Friday, 4:15, y'all. We made it. It is Friday, August 9th, 2024. Having a full end of week market recap today. SPYs closed up 40 basis points there, below average trading. Volatility craters again, as predicted here, down about 13%. We got that 50 handle on VXX, as I talked about yesterday. Let's take a look. I'll share my screen with what really moved markets today, and let's get right into it. So today, and I'm going to recap the week of, as well, of course. So today, Brazil rallies about 2.5% on below average U.S. volume trading. We've had a flurry. It seems like a decade ago was Monday with the whole Japanese crash. It's very interesting if you really want to contextualize and digest these results. Recapping the day and the week, I think you're going to find it pretty interesting. Below average trading today in SPY and pretty much across all sectors in the United States. So a little bit of a digestion period, while volatility sank 13%. This week, when all said and done, you remember Monday morning, a fear, the Russell was down 4.5%. We were concerned about circuit breakers and stuff like that. South Korea and Japan were getting absolutely liquidated. What, at the end of the day, after 5 full sessions, were the best trades? Buying nat gas up 9%, extended. It's a loser, as we've always called it. Brazil plus 7%, not a massive loser, but not a winner. And this has continued gains. I do want to note that the ILF, which is the Latin America 40, and Brazil had multiple Sigma moves registered today, and they're on our top 5 gainer list of this week. So momentum is with this one. We'll look at the chart, see if there's more to go, and then a big drop in volatility. If you sold volatility instead of buying puts, like a lot of, no offense, but inexperienced people did on Monday morning, you had a 9% swing in volatility, and a lot of that was coming today. So let's take a look. As I said, those were the best trades of the day. And then we'll also recap if anything's changed since last August. Best trades of the year. Here's a little surprise, or not so much surprise. It's still long Bitcoin. It's short nat gas, and it's long semis. The picture hasn't changed. Until I see this drastically changed, you're going to want to be in those, and I am in those. All right, so let's Rocco's going to hop off my lap. Wonderful. All right, so let's go to the charts. Let me share my screen. Boopity, 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 bop. That's me. Fun week this week. Let's go onwards. Okay, so here is intraday chart. We hit the low pre-market at 8:30 a.m. and then we hit a high here at 1:30 p.m. Oh my God, Rocco, this is frustrating. Yo, you're not coming back. No. All right, so excuse me. So we peaked here at 1:30. Not a bad close, though. You see VWAP pretty flat, slowly rising all day at 351.59. We closed. Happy to see us hold that. And in fact, we held it pretty much all day, except for a little scare at 11:30, which is the European close. Overall, looks good. Larger picture. I don't want to pat myself too much in the back here, but I said 5,100 after the scare should hold. The low on Monday is 510. So I'm going to just refer to it in SPY terms. So it was 510 here low on Monday. A lot of people think the sell-off isn't over yet. I think in terms of that low, I think 510 will hold. And I said we're going to take about 3 weeks or so to get towards 540. We are 7 points or 1.5% away as it is today. So no change, same exact thing. See us getting to about 540 in about 2 weeks. All right, nothing crazy there. Okay, so everything going according to plan. I don't know how else to really explain better than that. All right, so let's look at what was big movers today. Brazil, again, look at this chart, okay? Not an amazing story. This thing topped out, before Christmas. So, and it looks very heavy with an extreme heavy 200-day moving average going lower. So it put in a 52-week low. So these are people bottom fishing. This did put in a low on Monday during the whole global crash. So if you bought in there, nice job. If you timed it right, this is up 10% today, up 3. Is there more to go? This has a lot of resistance. I'm looking at it in terms of calculation and just visually going back to these June levels. I don't see this going much past 29.5. So if you get this volatility expansion, that meaning this blue little bubble here expands, that's what we call a Bollinger Band. You get bigger inputs, and these bars are still pretty big, not too thin. But all that being said, I think this gets another 35 cents or about 1%. And then I think it wants to drift back towards 27.85. Next, ILF registered a big mover today. Obviously, this was a lot because of Brazil, but it's not just Brazil. There's Mexico doing decent well as well, and so on. So Latin America definitely attracting investor dollars this week. Similar chart. Look at this ugly low here at 22. So also 10% gainer in this. Huge bar here. Basically means this price wasn't not so. And also you had a bearish divergence. You see here new price low. Far lesser than this at 24. You traded all the way to 22.5. You should have had lower RSI here. You never got there. That lets you know as a technician that it was short-lived, and that's exactly what's happening. Using a little bit of the last chart and the strength of Brazil, I can kind of assume that this is going to go at least towards its upper band, or if there's enough strength there. Brazil seems like it's the alpha generator of the market, but this is still up 2% today. I think this is going to try and push towards 26, or so that's what, about 80 cents, 3% left in here. Looks like there's a little bit more meat on the bone, I would say, in this area. But ultimately, I think this 200-day moving average is going to prove way too heavy. This thing hasn't even budged. It is stuck at since Independence Day. So fierce resistance there. Very interesting to note, nothing down today in a multiple sigma way. So that to me is, flashing lights. Kanye. No, but that is like flashing light that the market is digesting this. There's no, let's liquidate home builders or other stuff that ran a bunch, or even DXJ and those types of moves. Nothing was down today in a multiple sigma level. I'm not talking about single stocks. I'm talking about ETFs and areas that matter. Okay. All right. Top 5 gainers of the past 5 days. No repeats. Nat Gas. If you bought this, congratulations. The best gainer this entire week. I don't know how many people would have said. Actually, I think we said it was being accumulated, and we called out for levels. So let's see what's changed. I think this is still going higher, but so if this gets extreme bullishness, I'll say, and if people get really, excited about it, I think this would go all the way to about 15.10. So that's 80 cents. That's not bad. That's about like 4.5% more. I don't think it's going to happen, but if it's got to 18.5, that's an easy, just brain dead crash dummy signal to sell it. But again, bottom feeder, you see this also put in the low on our crash, similar to Brazil, similar to Latin America. These are bottom feeders. It's just rotating in that regard. And we'll look, if you're saying, are they still selling NVIDIA and all that stuff? We're going to get to semiconductors. They're up 3% this week. It was the 5th best area to be long. So also a good thing if you're a bull. Okay, the second best chart of the week, we just looked at it, was Brazil, up 7.5% this week. Congratulations. Third best gainer this week, ILF. We already looked at that, up 6% this week. And the fourth one, we were talking about this the other day, oil. If we have global growth concerns, you're not buying oil. Oil was up 4% this week, up 1.1 today. That's a beautiful thing because that's also dealing with a bullish story. This is still being accumulated. I think it's going to run into a little bit of traffic, as it were, right around 78. I said that it was going to reclaim this 200-day moving average, and it has. That is staunch right there at 74.40. It recaptured it. It took 3 days. Next stop, I think this is going to get to about 78 and then chop around there. I think maybe with the next market decline, I think we'll have this go back down to about 76 where it currently trades. But for now, a little bit more, slightly more upside for oil. So bullish picture. We're saying there's more for that, more for nat gas, more for Brazil, more for Latin America. This is good stuff. So don't see the picture changing in terms of us being in an accumulation phase. And again, doing the work with 15 to 18-day cycles. I see the bullishness for basically when I'm talking about bullishness in the U.S. markets, when I'm at SPY and things related of that nature. I see us being bullish through about on or around August 21st. That is so basically almost 2 weeks. And that's when I see us getting to that at the max, getting to that 540 in SPY. So my date is around there for the 21st to get it. I think we'll get it considering we're 1.5% away, assuming some chop to the downside and sideways, and then ending up there. Very realistic. We're on pace. So oil, already gave you my target for that. And then let's look at the all-important chart, SMH, the fifth biggest gainer this week, up 3.2%. Today was flat. As I said, digestion, they're not selling the crap out of it. What's happening here? So a couple good things and bad things about this chart, like that it reclaimed the 200-day. It still has slope to it. Wonderful. The high is back here almost exactly 1 month ago on July 11th. I think this is going to get to 238. Okay, like pretty within the next week or so. I think you're going to see those big thrusts. You had NVIDIA up, I forget what day it was, either yesterday or the day before, up 6%, something like that. Actually, the XSD, semiconductor equal ETF, that was up about like 5% the other day. I think you're going to get another move like that to propel this to about 238 first stop. And I think it's going to run into a little bit of headway right around 250. But that's why I see we're going. Why I said it's concerning is 250 is quite a ways away from the all-time highs. So we have more work to do. It's kind of like the Team USA basketball yesterday against Serbia, down 13 going into the fourth quarter. Had some work to do, and it prevailed. I think this is a similar chart, and this is the basis that I'm getting this on. This never got oversold either. So meaning there's never a line of sellers saying, oh, the whole AI thing is over. I don't want NVIDIA. I'll sell it. When I'm done, I'll sell some more. Never got oversold. Okay, so I'm looking at the prints here. That was a 32.4. You got to be under 30. This is 32. And right here was a 32. So never got oversold. Scary moment here on the Monday crash. That was a heck of a steal if you picked it up at 200.
Trading connection lost.
Okay. Next, top 5 losers of the past 5 days. VXX, big loser, down 8.5% this week total, because I'm actually looking at the big rise. When I'm doing the calculations, past 5 sessions, so it takes into account that massive spike here on Monday. And look at the candles ever since. You kind of had a shot here on Wednesday, but then right back lower. I said we're going to have a 50 handle soon, and I was talking when we were, I think, I don't want to toot my own horn. I know we had a 60 handle. I think we might have even been in the 70s. I'm not sure. But all that being said, let me give you my update as of now. Yeah, this thing still going south. I don't think it's going to go, well, let me say how low we go, tango style. Well, 52, yeah. The 52-week low, you also have to understand, adjusted is 40. So when you're calling for it to go to like, oh, it's going to go to 25, it's hard to do, for it to crap in half. The 200-day moving average is 58 even. I knew it wasn't going to have that. And in fact, it's only going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days above it. So that's not like a trend change, okay? What else? Yeah, hard to calculate this one to see where it goes. There's also VXX. So, when you're predicting, I nicked myself shaving earlier. So that's why I'm doing this with the napkin. I can find one of those little weird looking Band-Aids. Those little dot ones. Boopity boopity bop. Yeah, so I'm looking at this going to 21 EMA's 45. Yeah, I think we're going to like 42. Okay, that's going to sound pretty crazy, pretty ballsy, but that's 13 points, another 25% reduction in volatility. I'm calling for it, and that's over the next 2 weeks. They're symmetrical. I'm calling for, it's not going to be new all-time highs in SPY, but getting within 3 to 4% of new all-time highs, that's going to equate to this cascading heavily lowered volatility. Also, you're getting the inputs. Russell's not moving 5% a day anymore, and there's not global circuit breakers being activated. So that takes an effect on volatility and pricing of puts. All right, silver got hammered this week, down 3.5%. Let's take a look at the chart, see if there's any opportunity. I am light on commodities in my portfolio. Let's take a look. So a bad week, not too great. This you saw what happened Monday. Still a rising 200-day moving average. This one peaked before Memorial Day, right at Memorial Day week, May 20th. Yeah, I think this is going to be accumulated. Also, shout out to Tom Bruni, head of research at StockTwix. He was calling this out and says this looks like it's going to be breaking out. He likes the way that it was structured. I don't disagree. I just don't think it's going to be massive. I think this does have a date with 26 half, right around there, 26 quarter. Okay, we'll split the difference. I think is going to happen. and 26 quarter would be a move of 125. That's pretty great. That's a 5% move. So not a bad area, and especially we're expressing bullishness for, nat gas, Latin America, oil, semis. I think they're going to go into silver as well, which is used for, growth products. So very interesting. A lot of stuff to buy here. I think we're going higher, y'all. ITB, the home construction, we've been calling for this, saying it was going to go lower, that it was grossly overbought. ITB, the third worst place to be in this week, down 3%, and today was up 40 bips. Now what? I think this might have another day or two, but I think this is going higher. I think it's going to base right around 113. So it might, oscillate maybe for another day or two, but then I think it's going to base around 113. And I am bullish on this. I think this is getting towards. I am bullish on this. I think this could get new highs, which would be 124, which would be a 12-point or a 10% gain over the next 3 weeks. So nice looking chart. Seeing a lot of good long ideas here. IBIT or Bitcoin, the fourth worst place to be in, equal decline to home construction. Obviously, very different markets. This was down 3% on the week. Today, it tried to recapture 2%. Now what going forward? Bitcoin got to 62K. Let's take a look. So I'm going to look specifically at the IBIT. So yeah, I think this is being in accumulation mode. It's basically at a 21-day exponential moving average, just a touch below. I think this wants to get to 40. So that would be a huge move, massive move. Say call it $5. You're talking about, was it like 15%? I think Bitcoin was at like 57K. I'm doing this all back of the head math. So 15%. Let me just take out the stuff, y'all. So 57 times. Yeah, I think we'll get to like 65, 66K in Bitcoin over the next 2 to 3 weeks. So more bullishness across different areas. And it actually it tagged 62K today and then started going lower. So it's showing some strength. A lot of good buy ideas here. I'm on the loser section too. These are the losers this week, and they're all basing to about to go higher. And lastly, CAF, very close to the Russell, but just a little bit different constituency. CAF, was down this week 3%. Today was down 0.5% or so. Let's see what's next. So I think this could have another day. Again, similar story. I think this might have another day or two down to about 40. About to 43, maybe 42.5, but I don't think so. And then I think this wants to dance to about 45, 40. It's going to try and make a move towards this 200-day moving average. That would really actually instill a lot of confidence to me in the market, in that small cap rotation, right? So that would be important to see. And like I said, I give this until, what's the date? What was the first close on the 200-day moving average? So I give this till September 2nd to get above 45.80. I think it'll do it. I think it'll do it, in fact, in the next 3 weeks. So that was, pretty close. That would be September 1st. So everything makes sense and is symmetrical. Kind of beautiful how it works out. So that's where we stand on that. So, so 45, just to see my target here. I don't think it's going to prove too heavy. Let me see this on a calculated basis. 45.40 to 45.80. Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I think it's going to do it. So right around there, 45.80 would be a gain of 180. So 180, I'm just trying to imply strength for the Russell. That's a 4% gain for the Russell in the next 3 weeks. So if that's happening for that, as we saw for the SMH, there's gains to be had there as well. Okay, so best 3 absolute trades of the past 5 days: long nat gas, short vol, long Brazil. If you did that, congratulations. All right, and now best 3 absolute trades of the past 52 weeks. Let's see if anything changes. I'm not going to go into this chart because we actually did all 3. Long Bitcoin, still the best trade from last August to today. Long Bitcoin got you plus 146% to the upside. Short nat gas is the second best trade on the board. You would have gained 55% by being short, okay? And then the third best trade to be long semis up 50%. This is the market, gang. This isn't, we're not splitting the atom here. I'm just going with trends. And I like the 52 weeks based better than year to date, simply because year to date, 8 months of data. This is 12 months of data. and the trends are still persisting. I'm still not selling Bitcoin. I would be buying that gas. I wouldn't be selling semis. The trend is your friend until the end. Other than that, I thought this was going to be a longer show, but it was pretty short, sweet, and to the point. I will try and have a report on Sunday for those that can't, read or watch this video. And yeah, another video on Monday, and I will see you next time. Have a great weekend. Bye.